Start. Hello, everybody. This is Peggy. I'm back again with another reading, and this time I'm reading with my own deck. The deal with Lisa is that I do the reading and she picks the deck. I'm like, no, I'm going to use my own deck this time because she's not here to stop me. So that's what I'm doing. Now, this is the practical. Whoops, let's get up here. Let me get this up here and out of focus. There we go. Practical Tarot Wisdom with the Radiant Rider Waite Tarot deck. That's a huge title, which is probably why I keep forgetting it. I believe this is an Arwen Lynch deck. I believe Arwen did this deck. So this deck is awesome. I am in love with this deck. Why am I in love with this deck? Because I am somebody who always, oh, look at this. I'm going to throw this card away. This has the art on one side and a description on the other. Isn't that awesome? So, and of course, the card that I get is the Ten of Swords. So it's like, don't be scared, please. Nobody be scared. So this deck, I have been using this deck forever. I am a sucker for my keywords. I am a sucker for always using the book. I always use the book. If a deck comes with a book, if a deck comes with a book, I will always refer to every entry in the book. I kind of get a generalized reading from the cards, but I do. But every deck creator has their own individual take on the tarot, and I do think that I prefer working within that. That just goes along with what I believe, like intention magic, that sort of thing. So that's how I do it. So this is this week's reading for the collective, and since I'm working with my favorite deck, I may even throw down. I think I am going to throw down a couple extra cards this week, because I'll be able to go a lot faster. So we'll see how that works. Okay. So for these cards, when the writing is at the top, I assume that the card is reversed. When the art is at the top, I assume that the card is upright. Well, this is a shitty start. This is interesting, though, because I've got two major arcana together. So I always keep... So I do that. I can still read the entry and see the art, but then I remember that those are upside down. That's kind of how this is just my personal thing. So we have got... Now this is interesting because usually when I'm doing an open reading like this, I don't know if it's got a name. I just call it like an open reading, an open-ended reading. Message from the universe readings. I let the universe decide what matters in this reading, right? Well, what I'm seeing is a major arcana here and major arcana here, both reversed. Queen of Swords in the middle. Now, normally, if there's a major arcana in the middle, that would be the focus of the reading, but the major arcanas are here. So I'm just going to read everything out loud, and we'll go from there. We'll go from there and see what we think. So the Fool card, don't let worry hold you back. It's time to take that leap into the wild unknown. Let your innocence be your guide. You can dance off a cliff knowing that you will either bounce or fly. Either way, you've changed your luck simply by taking a chance at something new. Now, the Fool being reversed is not an indication of the exact opposite. Oh, don't try new things. But it is to say that, yeah, absolutely do these things, but be aware that you can't literally walk off a cliff. There are limitations. So when the Fool is reversed, it's like, don't be afraid of the Fool energy, but do a little thinking. Now, the High Priestess is, what secrets wait to be uncovered? Who has the knowledge? Your message here is to look at all the possibilities and listen to your higher self. The riddle for today is, how do you trust your own intuition? When you ask the right questions, you will find the answers buried in your own heart. So this is either your intuition is off or you don't trust your intuition. We're looking at kind of one extreme or the other. It's either you don't trust yourself or you shouldn't trust yourself. That's where we're at right this minute. Okay, I'm just going to let these sit up just a touch. Queen of Swords is sort out problems by applying your agile mind. Your experience counts. Oh, so maybe, okay, so you can think your way out of any problem. A quick decision may not be the best one. Pick up your pen to make a pro versus con list. Remember to let your brain rule rather than your heart. Interesting. So this is saying let your brain rule rather than your heart. This one is saying, this one could be implying don't trust your intuition. And this one could be saying you should probably be aware of the risks. The Queen of Swords here is kind of saying that that's what's going on. Sort out your problems by applying your agile mind. Your experience counts. So this doesn't say to ignore your intuition. This is not to ignore your intuition or to refuse to take those chances and to trust that everything will be okay. But this is saying that you should probably be, whatever's going on for you right now, you have this opportunity to do something fun. Just relax and go with the flow. And the Queen of Swords is saying, the Queen of Swords is not necessarily saying don't do that, but it's saying think about it for a minute. So the Queen of Swords in this case this card right now is about your risk mitigation, really. Like, these things are not bad. Relying on your intuition is not bad. Relying, not worrying and don't let worry hold you back. These two things are not bad, but you're looking at a combination. These two things together, when you put these two things together, you're like, oh yeah, just don't worry about it. Just do whatever, just go ahead and jump off the bridge. It'll be fine. And so the Queen of Swords is kind of in the middle going, sure, that's fine, but do think about the risks first. It doesn't mean you can't go back to having your good time. And maybe for some of you, it means just you need to walk away. This is not, I always tend to try and look for this isn't too bad. This might be bad. You might have an idea, you might have an opportunity to do something that is so reckless and so against common sense that you really should sit down and give it some thought. It's not an indication of how things will turn out, but it is saying that if you don't give it some thought, something could go wrong in a way that you're not expecting, in a way that you're not prepared to deal with. I don't see this as exactly the most positive of situations to be in, but like I said, this is like that. Reverse, because it's at the bottom, upright, reverse. So, yeah, the Fool is, don't let worry hold you back. It's not the polar opposite, let worry hold you back. It's not that you should worry, okay? This is, I keep taking the cards off the camera. This doesn't mean you should worry. The fact that this card is reversed doesn't mean you should worry, you should be held back. It means you should think about it first. You should be aware that whatever it is that's going on does come with a risk. Most things in life come with a risk. So it's like, just be aware. And again, intuition, the riddle for today is, how do you trust your own intuition? You can, this isn't saying you can't trust your intuition, but it's saying get some confirmation. Does that make sense? So these things being reversed, whatever's going on in your world for the upcoming week, the fact that these two things are reversed does mean it has a chance to not work out the way you thought it was going to, but that if you apply a little bit of thought, logic, and planning, that you will mitigate whatever risks could come with these two things. Oh, my dog is snoring. Okay, so I put my cards, so this is the Fool. This is the Fool, and he's reversed. Let me see if I got to make sure I keep everything on camera. This is the Queen of Swords, okay? So now I'm going to draw a couple more cards, and so basically, what is mitigating this? What is mitigating that? So the Six of Pentacles reversed. Today is a good day for getting gifts as well as giving them. The giver and gift are blessings when received with sincere gratitude. You may be asked to get involved in a local charity. Step into that place of generosity to help others. You will in turn help yourself. So this is reversed. Now, reverse means, okay, you may get an opportunity to become involved in a charity. That's not a bad thing. But maybe you are going to be offered an opportunity to be involved beyond your ability to give. That could be what's going on here. So you may be asked, you may be in a situation like, because the Fool is like, oh, sure, I can give you that. Sure, no problem. The Fool says yes to everything, okay? And the Fool says yes to everything and just has absolute faith that it's going to work out. And again, Pentacles is money, right? You may be asked to get involved in something that you kind of can't afford. Now the Queen said, the Queen is upright here. The Queen is not saying that you have to say no, but the Queen is saying, that in this circumstance, you have to say, I can't afford it. Just be honest about what's going on with you. This is where I would look at it. If this was literally, like I said, the word charity popped out to me. The word charity is getting gifts as well as giving them. The giver of the gift, The giver and the gift are blessings when received with sincere gratitude. So obviously, yes, be gracious, have gratitude, but and I just the word local charity popped out to me. You may be tempted to give more than you can afford to give. To go on a trip that you can't afford to take, to buy a car that you can't, that's more than you could, that comes with payments that are bigger than you can handle. This is not about literal charity, but this is about making sure that your needs are met before you give away or giving and taking, right? Making sure that this is about making sure that your needs are met, and that's what the Queen of Swords wants you to think about. Now on this one, it's the Wheel of Fortune. Opportunity is knocking, answer the door. And again, this is reversed. Opportunity is knocking, answer the door. Now these do seem connected to me. Opportunity is, I'm going to say it again and again and again. Opportunity is knocking, answer the door. How far are you willing to stretch for what you desire? Well, this is back to charity, right? So the word charity popped out to me, but this, like I said, this could be literally, okay, say you're getting ready to buy a car. Let's do this entire reading as if you're getting ready to buy a car. Oh, I really like this car. I'm going to buy this car. Yeah, my intuition, I really need a car. I'm going to really benefit from having a new car. I trust that I'm going to benefit from having a new car. The Queen of Swords is going, you really need to take a look at this. So from this, the Six of Pentacles is saying, don't be tempted to buy a car with payments that are higher than you can comfortably afford, right? Maybe it's like, maybe there's rumors of a layoff at your office. Oh, but I really need that car. But I really need that car. I trust that I'll come up with the money to make those payments. And the Queen of Swords is saying, but look at the Wheel of Fortune. Opportunity is knocking, answer the door. This card was reversed, remember. So the Queen of Swords is going, if that opportunity goes away, are you screwed? These can be very much connected. Like I said, let's think about it as buying a new car. So, really new car. New cars are awesome. Oh, I have absolute faith I can make those payments. Queen of Swords is going, you need to think about this. Can you afford the payments? Is this car more than what you need? Are you buying this car to show off? Are you buying your wife a Mercedes, blah, 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 $100,000 car to make her happy when she would have been happy with a $20,000 car? Maybe that's a bad example. Wheel of Fortune is literally what goes up must come down. Spin it round and round. You're taking a chance. So how far are you willing to stretch for what you desire? Comfort zones aren't the ideal spot right now. Are you up and ready? This wheel turns continuously. Sometimes you are up, sometimes you are down. Be ready to grab your chance at success. So when this card is reversed, it doesn't mean you're on the way down, but it means that, because like I said, we're looking at trusting your intuition. Well, if you trust your intuition and you're wrong, right? Queen of Swords is saying, okay, that's fine that your intuition tells you this, but take a look at the logic of the situation. If you trust your intuition, but you're wrong, that wheel is going straight to the bottom. Okay? So, and like I said, think about this in terms of if you were buying a car, because this is a reading for the collective. So for me, I have to make up examples. I know what it means for me. For me, okay, let's make this about me. Let's make this specifically about me. I've been thinking that I need to stock up on some more fabric. Now, I know that fabric will sell. I know that I'll be okay with that. That's fine. Now, the Queen of Swords is saying, well, but you just stocked up recently. Do you really need to stock up again so soon? I literally just had this conversation with myself a couple of days ago because one of my fabric suppliers was having a sale. It's like, well, you know what? I got other stuff going on. Do I really have the money to? The fabric will sell. That's not a problem. Sure, absolutely. But do you really have the money for it right now? And is it really a beneficial move for you right now when you've got a lot of fabric stacked up and you don't really need it? There's a sale and you're excited about it. Wheel of Fortune is saying, like, look, sure, my intuition says that, stocking up is a good idea. The Wheel of Fortune is like, you've already got a lot of fabric, and if something changes for you, like what if we have a house fire? I don't know. Maybe, I mean, that's kind of an overthink. But what if we've got something going on? What if we've got something going on that is like, well, you don't really have a lot of space to store fabric right now. My fabric area is full. Okay, so it's like, so what happens if you force this stuff to fit into the house and end up what if it takes you so long to use it that it gets damaged in the meantime because of where you've had to store it, right? Wheel of Fortune goes straight to the bottom. If I drop a shit ton of money on some fabric and then the fabric gets ruined, the Wheel of Fortune just went straight down because then I've got to, you know what I mean? I'm talking too fast. But anyway, so these cards aren't saying no. These cards are be aware, right? Like, but this is not telling me to never buy fabric again. This is telling me buying more than I need at a time when I've already got more than I can use right now is not necessarily a smart idea. I'm still gonna stock up on fabric, but am I gonna drop $5,000 on a sale? No, I'm not, right? So now that we're forming the triangle, and now we've got the Hanged Man. So the Hanged Man, and again, it's reversed, right? Answers can be found when you look at things from a different angle. Suspending your own sense of reality lets you see something from someone else's point of view. Challenge yourself to examine the issue at hand from a different vantage point. Sometimes answers really are closer than they appear. Now, when the Hanged Man is upside down like this, I'm not really looking at it as hugely different, because the Hanged Man kind of says the same thing whether it's upside down or upside right. When it's reversed, it's basically saying answers can be found when you look at things from a different angle. So it says basically when the Hanged Man is upside down, for me at least, I'm seeing, when it's reversed, I'm seeing it as being the answers are out there, but you're not taking the time to look. So think of it. So suspending your own sense of reality lets you see something from someone else's point of view. Challenge yourself to examine the issues at hand from a different vantage point. These are all saying the exact same thing, just using slightly different words. So when it's reversed, it's just reminding you that you haven't taken the time to do that yet. So somebody wants you to do something and you want to say yes. You're not really thinking about the impact to you to say yes, whether or not you can actually afford socially, emotionally, financially to say yes. So this is what's going on for you this week. So you've got an opportunity. And I'm not saying it's not an opportunity. You've got an opportunity, but you are tempted to just jump in with both feet when there are at least a few major things that you need to be aware of. So if you're thinking about buying a car, do you need a $100,000 car or a $20,000 car? Do you need to negotiate for this car, making sure that your payments are, is there a chance that something can change in your financial picture? Okay. So this reading is getting a little big, and I am done right now. Sometimes what I'll do is I'll fill in the top with more cards if the reading is really confusing. This reading is not confusing. You're going to have an opportunity. An opportunity is going to come your way. It's going to seem exciting, and intuitively you're going to tell yourself it's going to be a great idea, and it probably is. Okay, don't get me wrong. It's not a bad idea, but the Queen of Swords is telling you that just double check what's going on. Don't just jump in without thinking about it. Double check what's going on and make sure that it's something that you truly are comfortable with on a personal level, on every level. Personal, financial, emotional. Like, are you doing it just to impress somebody? Are you doing it because it's necessary? Can you afford it? And if you go for it anyway, are you at risk? Are you at risk? Like I said, buying a car. If you, I can afford this car, but the payments are so high that if that layoff that you've been hearing rumors about happens, you won't be able to afford the payments at all. Versus if you buy this other car, the payments will be lower and you'll be able to afford it. Or maybe even like, oh great, absolutely plan for this car, but maybe you need to go save for a down payment or something first. You don't know. I don't know what that means for you personally. I'm using cars as a really blatant example because it makes sense to me. Like I said, these cards are all in reverse. So that's not telling you bad things are going to happen. It's telling you that you've got a lot to think about. There's a lot that you really need to think about. And the Hangman, like I said, the Hangman doesn't really have a reverse. The Hangman is all about, you need to think about this, and either you have been thinking about this or you haven't been thinking about this, but you need to think about this. So the answers are there. Whether it's a yes or a no is what the Hangman is going to actually lead you to. It doesn't need to be a bad thing. I'm seeing that you could be in a position to make a pretty big mistake, and that whether or not a few tweaks will fix it or not, that's the Hangman. The introspection of the Hangman is going to help you sort that out. So that's what I see. Not necessarily a great reading for the coming week, but a reminder to even when you are excited and feeling like it can't go wrong, just to apply that reasoning to make sure that you're not going to make a mistake that that is going to screw you up. This is adult living. This is adult living in action, right? Like I said, the best example for this entire reading was talking about buying a car. Well, if buying a car this week is a bad idea, saving for 6 months, as long as you've got a working car that works, isn't necessarily a hardship, right? So that is that. That is the reading. That is the Practical Tarot Wisdom with the Radiant Rider Waite Tarot deck. Bigger reading that I normally was a bigger reading that I normally do, but I find that with the descriptions right on the card, it's faster for me because that's the description's right there, and I don't have to stop and go look it up. This is my favorite deck of all time. If you are new, and especially if you are new and really enjoy doing your readings while working with a book, this is a great little shortcut, like I said, to get a quicker, faster. My God, 9 of Swords this time. This is a quicker, faster way to get a reading when you're not having to stop to look everything up every couple of seconds. Anyway, that is it. That's the reading. That is the warning for the week. Just don't be in a rush. Don't be in a hurry. Think things through. Really, that's what it boils down to. Anyway, and I hope that made sense. And as always, if you like what you see, comment below if you agree, if you disagree. I'd love to hear your perspectives and opinions on the reading. Because, you know, everybody's readings, even the exact same cards means different things to different people, depending on what's going on in their individual world. I'd love to see how this reading worked out for you. In the meantime, you guys have a great day, and I will see you soon. Bye.